Hello, Nadasa. How are you still awake? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I have no idea how you're doing this. I hope I'm because I'm just talking away here. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe. There you go. Hey, hey. I just can't believe you're still awake. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. You know what? Since you're here, you're first. I'm gonna just pull a card for you. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. I Are you a night owl? Is it easier for you to stay awake like that? Because I used to be, but now it's from getting up so early. I'm just yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Okay. I can feel the cards getting thicker. I get excited. I'll tell you, my feeling is there's been, you've had either congestion or like a, I don't know, there has been feeling like just a little something that you've been working through, getting it off your chest. And I feel like that's coming, like the timing is like now. The other thing that's interesting are your cards. Oh my gosh, that makes sense. Look at this. So you have your angels. Your angels are absolutely guiding you. And you just got to take that leap of faith, baby. Take that leap of faith. I was saying earlier today, because I had meant to, in Soul and Spirit, I was advertising, I think it's out. Oh, never mind. Because I don't know for sure. So I'm not going to say anything. Never mind. Anyway, I love this. I love that your angels are absolutely, they're flying high. They are right here. They are guiding you. They're leading the way. Sometimes we give angels the permission to handle things and then we take it back. And I feel like if you've got something that needs to get off your chest, you need something that needs to be dealt with or handled, or even if it's a little kind of thing, that's your throat chakra. So that's also your communication with your angels. This is the time. This is now. So, yay. Hello, Cindy. Hello. Hello. How are you? Oh my gosh. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. I was excited. Adasa's, I don't know how she's up. I do not know. She's 6 hours ahead of me. So it's 1 in the morning, her time. 1 in the morning, maybe even later. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. Karen, I was just shuffling cards for you, and baby, we've got good luck coming your way. This is fabulous. If you look at that, look at that. This is showers of blessing raining down on you. Stay optimistic, stay hopeful, stay in your zone. This is wonderful. This really is working with the moon. I do feel like you are not only working with the moon as a goddess, but I feel like you're really embracing your goddess energy. You're starting to really accept your powers, accept how unique and marvelous you are. And by doing that, you're finding, yep, you're starting to be able to express yourself a little bit more and get your story out, get your desires out. You're communicating with angels, you're communicating with the universe, you're telling fairies, this, help me manifest this. Help me manifest this, man. Help us on the way. Yay. Yes. No, I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah. Yay. Hello, Cindy. Hello. These are the Osho Zen tarot deck. You'll see that on the Amazon shop where you can order it. That is the link that is to the deck that I have that I use. I love it. I have always used it. And I think I've told you this before, where I wanted, because I always use this deck, and I wanted to get a different deck for the readings that I was doing at the mystical shops around here. You can see that. Oh no, they can't see you. But anyway, I ended up getting this deck over and over and over. Friends would be like, "Hey, I need to send you. I felt like I should send you a deck. I know you want a new one," and it was this one. It was this one. Yeah. Yes. Our kitty cat is all in it. Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Yay. Yeah. Thursday morning. Karen has 11 a.m. there Thursday morning. Nadasa is, I don't know what part of the UK she's from, but she's ahead. Yeah. She's not as ahead of as you, Karen. Yes. Oh, no, 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 no. I have shared the story how I really wanted to use a different deck. And this guy had come into the store and had heard me over and over how I wanted to get a different deck. He lives in Colorado and ended up, he sent me a beautiful note with a deck inside the box. And I opened the note first and it said, saw a deck, knew you wanted a new one, and this one felt like it was calling out just for you. And then I opened it up and it was this deck again. I seriously have like 5 decks of this. Ah, but you know what? I love it. I love the color. I love the communication. I love how easy it is to read. It's easy to connect. I love how when you are reading a card, well, let's do some of that right now. Actually, I want to do that. But I love, hi Genevieve. I love how when you're reading a deck and you're able to sense the energy off the card compared to you using your mind of, well, on a tarot deck the major arcana means this, and swords mean this, and cups mean this, so you are overthinking. Whereas something like this, you're just in that zone, you're trusting your intuition, you're listening, and you're receiving. It's so important to do that. So hello gorgeous. So you're in the Newport, South Wales. Gorgeous. I hope to come visit very soon. Very, very soon. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card and I want everyone, please, that's here, write down, and then we'll talk about boundaries. But I want you to share what you feel on the card. Share what you feel on the card that you see. You're going to see something. Remember, I usually will say, do not read the words. They don't mean anything, because really, I want you reading it anyway. And I feel like, yes, that might be what they were saying, but yeah. Okay. Here's a card. And you can see the word, but I want you really looking at the card. And I want you writing down what you see, what you notice, what guidance do you get from this card? Yeah. Okay, so Cindy likes the soothing and calming of this card. Or Cindy likes that, yeah. So I'll tell you something. I'll wait till you guys share a little bit more. And then hi, Laura. Hello, gorgeous. Let's see if I missed someone. Thank you. Okay, so what I liked about the card was the energy I was getting was the butterfly. I felt like the more you looked at the butterfly, the more you started to see his face, that butterfly is right there. You're ready to spread your wings. You're ready to fly. You're ready to go through this metamorphosis of getting into your power, stepping into your power. I love how you see the white orbs. To me, that's the angels that are working with you, especially if you look at your crown chakra. To me, I see elements of a peacock. And so for me, when I pull a card like this on someone where I'm giving them a reading, to me, that communicates they're going into this next chapter. They're going into a next phase, and they're going in with a little bit more confidence. They're bringing lessons learned into this new chapter. Yeah. Yeah. Go with a new, beautiful new beginnings, working with your third eye. Oh yeah, totally. Totally. Yep. Yeah. I love that. The butterfly and the third eye. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I like that, Laura. Need to center myself and prepare to fly like the beautiful butterfly that I am. Gorgeous. Absolutely. Yep. Yes. Yes. And speaking of that, the reason why I was talking about boundaries is because as women, especially, so often we don't set those boundaries. And I will say it's becoming more prevalent even in men. It's becoming just we are permitting ourselves to be bullied. And it's important that we establish boundaries, even within ourselves, that we will not have self talk that steps over a boundary of our self respect. And I like how Genevieve saw the butterfly with new beginnings and all knowing. The thing is, with that attitude, you're going to know what boundaries need to be created. I want you to think about and just write it down. What boundary do you want to set for yourself? Maybe there are some physical boundaries. Maybe you feel like I don't want someone in my space, or maybe you feel like I like it when someone gives me a hug. Identify that kind of physical boundary. Identify the emotional boundary. Because if someone is teasing you and you don't like to be teased, it's okay to speak up and say, please don't do that. It's important that boundaries are established not only physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually, but also that you recognize sometimes we have blockages preventing us from establishing a strong boundary. Meaning, if we have a root chakra issue from before we were even born, past life, we don't even recognize this is a blockage that's keeping us from stepping into our power, or respecting ourselves, or treating our life with self-respect in our decisions and our engagements and encounters. Well, then we're so worried about keeping our job. We're so worried about maintaining a paycheck that we forget that we're being dishonorable to our own soul. And so that's why, if you can recognize every area where a boundary needs to be created, and then if you feel there is a blockage keeping that boundary from occurring, from happening, from being honored and respected, well, then you can ask angels to provide the guidance. Where am I needing help? Where do I need to break free? And it might be that angels come back to you saying, you don't have to do any, you don't have to remember it, but you do need to do a release ceremony. And remember, we just had the full moon. So now we are in that time where the moon is waning. It is getting smaller and smaller, and it's a perfect time to release. It's a perfect time to shed anything that's blocking your blessing, anything that's blocking you from having that boundary created that you're able to respect and honor. And part of the boundary, sometimes we have a boundary of, I don't want someone to talk to me that way, but then we don't speak up. We don't say anything because we don't want to hurt their feelings, especially if you're a goddess of peace or a goddess of order. You feel like, well, they should have known better. And you're right. But if you're working with a goddess of action and she's trampling all over you, or he wants his needs to be met at all costs, he always figures, well, I'll just apologize later. That's fine. But he doesn't realize that he's running over your emotions and your soul. Sometimes then it's easier if you were looking at it as, well, wait a minute, I wouldn't want him treating my friend that way, or I wouldn't want him treating so-and-so that way. Then all of a sudden those boundaries are a little bit easier to uphold. They're also easier to uphold when you are starting to love yourself more. And part of boundaries are also needing to be where you don't do the negative self-talk. If you're not going to allow someone else to speak ill of you or to you, then you must hold yourself accountable to not permitting the negative talk about yourself either. The next thing is to make sure you're doing self-care, meaning you're going to respect your soul. You're going to make time for you. You're going to make yourself a priority. That means balance. Now, it doesn't have to be a 50-50 thing, but if you are running ragged at work and you're feeling exhausted, then that's a problem. And there needs to be a balance where you're getting sleep, where you're getting hydration, you're eating foods that are making yourself stronger. It's serving that purpose. It's feeding into, I feel great. That kind of self-care, meditating, talking to angels, having that journal time, walking outdoors, communing with nature, whatever you are feeling, this is important to my soul, write that down, put it in your calendar, and keep the date. Keep the date with yourself. Because the more you honor your boundaries, your soul, your soul's desires, the more the universe is watching. Now, because if you haven't been doing that and you haven't been honoring your soul and honoring your boundaries, then the universe is going to throw some stuff at you. It's going to throw some stuff your way where you're tested. You really mean it? Do you really feel this way? Or can I slip through that boundary? Well, it's hard. It's not fun. But I want you to stand up for yourself. I want to make sure you're really all in into protecting your soul, because I'd rather you honor yourself, respect your soul, and start to see more and more positive engagements than being a whipping boy of somebody else's. If someone else is miserable with their soul and they're taking it out on you because your light is shining so brightly, they are attempting to dull your light. They are attempting to ruin your day, because if they can bring you down, then it brings more vibration that you emit and radiate, and you change so many lives. You shift so many lives. So it's really important that your vibrations stay high. So that's why it's also important that you have your boundaries. I had an encounter on Monday, and the person was very, very they were very, very disrespectful of boundaries. Very out of character for me to speak up and say something. I want to be nice. I want to be friendly. You know how that goes. You know what it's like. You want to be nice. You don't want to hurt someone else's feelings. But I was really mad. And I was mad that it took away from my date with my daughter. So I ended up being 2 hours late. And it was because this guy came in and he felt his needs were more important and bamboozled the person I was with and what we were going through. And it just was unfair and it wasn't right. And it was because they wanted their needs to be met and they decided this is how it was going to go down. Now, the outcome was still a frustration because I missed out on my time with my daughter. But the outcome was also a huge win because I recognized, wow, how many times am I going to let people do that to my boundary? And how often are we doing it? All of us goddesses are doing that. Because then I started asking family, friends, clients, how often does this happen for you? And it was so sickening how common this is. So I'm really glad you're here. I'm glad you're tuning in, and I'm glad you're adjusting your light, because when you are in tune, you are such a bright light. It's something we talk about every Wednesday. We talk about how we share that. We talk about how we beam. We talk about how you're made of stardust, designed to shine. And baby, you are shining so brightly. And that's why you are being attacked, why you are being pointed out. So, yes, establish your boundaries. Yes, do the self-care. Yes, do all of these other things. But you can also ask angels to step in and intervene. Next Wednesday, we're going to talk more about angels and crystals and choosing the right blends for your boundaries and your needs. But for tonight, you can just say, hey, angels, please help protect me. I do call in Archangel Michael and ask his wings to wrap around me. I ask my guardian angel to wrap his wings around me. Immediately, sage. Use your smudge stick. If you've had a negative encounter, whether it be on the phone, whether it be on in person, whether you hear an encounter, immediately do something to shift that energy so it doesn't settle. When you notice like dust flies in, You know how you'll wipe it off immediately because you just see it, you don't want it to settle in and get embedded. Well, you don't want it to embed within your soul, within your spirit, right? Within your aura. You want to cleanse it out. So, one thing you can do is you can clap your hands and stomp your feet. If you've already watched the Manifesting 101 workshop, you have seen and probably have already gone through some of those steps. If you are clapping, remember you're changing the energy. You can snap your fingers like that. You can sing, you can hum, but by taking an action, you are notifying the universe. They are on alert. We are not having that. That's to go. If you have a beautiful deck just like this one, and all of a sudden you are feeling inclined to pull a card, by pulling the card, remember, this is a divine connection. You are connecting with your angels on a regular basis. Every time you're shuffling the cards, you're shifting the energy. So all of a sudden you have that negative counter. I want you to go over. No one's going to think anything. But look, just by you shuffling the cards, and if you can't shuffle like that, you can also mush it around on your table. But by doing that, you're connecting with your angel and you are aligning with a new message. So here you go. Hang on a second. I knocked a bunch out. So hang on a second. We're not going to see all of them, but I do want to I'm going to pull one of the cards that fell out and you can decide what you feel it is. Whoops. As you look at this card, what messages are you seeing? I want you noticing this. What do you see that's standing out? Yep. Support. I like it. Yep. I love the lizards. I love it because they are able to camouflage. They are able to shift their colors, even though what you see is the root. You see the sacral chakra and you see the solar plexus represented. I feel like it is also, even though it looks like an hourglass, if you see that's their hands right there, you're holding on to. What are you have access to your previous lives. You have access to your spirit, all of the spirit guides. If you look at the moon, you see it's a crescent moon. I feel like that is saying this is a phase. I feel like you are able to draw on the wisdom that is already encoded within you. I love it. I love the Nuf said I was afraid. I'm sorry. That's an interest, but what a great thing to recognize when you saw the card that you felt fear, because that was a communication then, right? So what is it about that card that created that fear or anxiety? I love the chameleons and the ancestors with Laura. Hi, Lisa. Ancestors with Michelle. Lisa, yay, I'm so glad you're here too. Yeah, time to look at myself. I love that, Natasha. I love that. Yeah, time to look at yourself. Time to look within. Isn't it amazing that that's the card that, yes, there were several that splashed up, but when I gathered up all the cards, I didn't see them, but that was the card that was pulled. And here we are discussing boundaries because you were able to have boundaries, defined boundaries in the past. It's time to realign with having healthy boundaries for you. If you are shuffling your cards and you're giving yourself a reading, sometimes you're in the thick of things and you just cannot. Now, here's a really fast way of something that you can do. Even if you're not getting anything, I want you, it's a really great card. I got two cards. This is fascinating. The very first card is this. Okay. I know what you're thinking as you look at the card, but What color stands out on this card? What color stands out on this card? The color that stands out is green. So maybe you saw the snake. Maybe you saw the mask that they're wearing, but the ugly, behind the mask kind of thing. However, if you are exhausted and you can pull one card and you saw this and you see the color and you're like, I'm not sure of the message. I don't understand. I don't really see the word. I don't have a false mask on. I agree with that. But what I see is the green, and the green is healing. So your message would be, I'm healing. It's a potential for growth. It's a positive way. If you're reading a card and you're taking a negative aspect from it, that's not very enlightening. That's not what angels would bring. They always would bring the help, the assistance. And by saying, yeah, I'm green with envy. No, what they're saying is this is a time of change. This is a time, fake it till you make it then. But the green brings the healing and the growth. The green is your heart chakra. So maybe it's time to love yourself a little bit more. I hope that is starting. You're starting to see. Yeah. Excellent, Lisa. Yep. Excellent, Heather. Excellent, Karen. Excellent, Venice. Yeah. Okay. Now, if we were shuffling, you just had an encounter that was negative. Someone stepped over your boundaries you've established. You've been doing a great job, and you're just, why would they do that? That was so mean, so rude. Okay, but then you pulled this card. If you pulled this card, tell me what would you feel? What would you experience from this card? Okay. So, wow, that's really cool. Nadasa said that you put a meditation and cord cutting not long ago, and the colors that you kept seeing was green and yellow, exactly the same color. I love that. I love that. The yellow, excuse me, yellow is all about your personal power, your growth. Yes, yellow can apply to different things, but I feel because you had the green and the yellow, that was all about you stepping into your divine power, you stepping into honoring your soul, honoring your heart, honoring who God created you to be, honoring how amazing of a person, soul, a beautiful soul you truly, truly are. So I love, 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 love that. Love that. What would brown mean on the last card? On the last card. If you were seeing the brown on this, it would mean earthy. It's very grounded. Are you feeling very grounded? If you felt like that person just interrupted your boundaries and then you pulled this card and you're focused on the brown, that would say, okay, are you grounding yourself? Are you grounded before you have an encounter? Are there grounding steps you can take? Because, even though we ground, it's just like when you put suntan lotion on and then you go back outside, you have to reapply the lotion. It's not just that one and done. You have to reapply it. So sometimes we're going. We've had a lot of information. We are exhausted. We're not getting enough to drink. So we will encounter, this has been an overwhelming day, and we need to get grounded again. And so if I pulled this card, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Now, I love how a lot of you are already, yep, if you feel the joy. Lisa says, I feel joy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Janice, I love how Janice is picking up on the tiger. I love the tiger, because the thing about that tiger, you're not changing your stripes. You're doing everything right. This is your time. You take this as you are not at fault. There is nothing else for you to look at. You are doing super duper. I have an open cup of water, and that's why I keep moving it, because he keeps going for it. Yeah. Okay. I love this. Yeah. Karen saw the tiger. Yep, on top of the world. Exactly. Exactly. On top of the world. So that would absolutely mean like this is your time. This is you. This is a good sign for you. So let's say you're getting frustrated about things at work or how things, you're delayed, whatever, and then all of a sudden you pulled that card. How can you be negative? This is truly a celebration. Yep. Yep. Laura, strength. Yeah. Powerful strength. And if you look how he's just throwing his arms back, not a care in the world. Everything's going great. I mean, for goodness sake, he's riding a tiger and he's fine. Yeah. Incredible, right? Yep. Yep. Love it. I love it. Look at how neat all of a sudden the energy changed. It shows that we don't have to stay under that dark cloud that someone tries to bring in. Someone else will try to suddenly like throw you off or get you out of your comfort level, get you out of, and I don't mean comfort level like, oh, we need to stretch. I mean, you're happy, you're in a good mood. Someone sees it and they want to feel better about themselves. So they throw arrows at your good mood. They deliberately attempt to sabotage, and angels are just like all over it. They are like, yeah, preach it. Because angels want you to know that they're here for you. There are legions and legions of angels that are created just for you that want to help. So when you're doing everything right, you're saying, okay, I've got this boundary, but now I need a sign by just pulling a card. Even if you have this little deck in a drawer, in your purse, in a briefcase, have it someplace. By even connecting with it, you're going to be already shifting the energy. You're shifting and you're tapping in to the divine message. You're lifting your vibration so that it's easier to release what just occurred. Yes, you can smudge, but you know what? If you've got someone who says you can't light that in here, you can't have an open flame in here, it's going to be difficult to walk around the office with sage. If you have a spritzer with clary sage in it, you're going to have people that say, I'm allergic to that. I can't be around that. That essential oil impacts me. And you might not want to spread it because you're feeling like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's in this, and I don't want to interfere with someone else. So it may not always work, but you know what always works? You can always do something personal and private to help you. Whew. The other thing is, yes, just take a breath. Just and deliberately release. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than just one. Sometimes you're in the middle of it and you're just, and just by getting out that heavy sigh, it shifts the energy and it does that reset. Yeah, absolutely. I love it, Amy. I love it. Yay. Yes. Yep. Happy celebration, moving in a new direction. Look at it differently. I love how everyone is just coming up. You are trusting your intuition and you're getting it. Absolutely, Genevieve. Yes. Celebration and victory. Yay. Yep. I've had a weird week, crabby and snappy. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you're here too. I am so glad you're here, Sharon. But yeah, right. It's been happening. It's been here. People are wonky. And this full moon in Aries, yes, it brought the emotions, but it also brought the anger out. Because remember, Aries rules Mars, which is that war, looking for the frustration. Like this is just, So the sensitive light workers, the empaths, are going to feel it more intensely. Even if you're feeling crabby, even if you're experiencing it, sometimes we need to put ourselves in a timeout. And part of that timeout is to allow ourselves to get re-energized, to just recharge our own battery without any guilt, without any strings attached. It's just, yeah, it's good. Sometimes as we stop reading on our like I have a Kindle, and sometimes I read it on my phone, sometimes I read it on my Kindle, but sometimes I just need to not be looking at a screen. It hurts my eyes. It's sometimes I don't, like even the TV, the messages that are coming through, it's just so and it's noise. Sometimes just to be outside and hear Mother Nature singing her lullaby, allowing you to reconnect and rest, allow your mind to rest, allow yourself to breathe again and catch your breath. I know it sounds just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I love Florida water. Genevieve, I love Florida water. Florida water is special. There is magical elements to Florida water. I Genevieve is saying how she carries a spray bottle with her to work every day. That is so neat. Yes, it changes. Yes, it changes everything. It's actually really good too when you're doing major shifts. So I love that. Yes. Oh, and you're so welcome. Okay, so and I love this. I love this. Yes, yeah, freedom, total excitement. Okay, I'm going to do another card. I love how everyone is sharing. Thank you so very much, and I want you to look at the card and just write down the first thing that you get. There are no wrong answers. That's the important part to remember. There are no wrong answers. And remember, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. That could be a boundary where you're saying, I don't want to share that. I don't want that. That's okay. It's really great. It's okay. But what we're doing is we're releasing, even within just the shuffling, and you're hearing the shuffle, you are aligning with this vibrations. Angels are coming in and doing the healing, because I do feel the boundaries have been just invaded. And my feeling is, as you're watching this, they've been invaded since you were little. I do feel like many of you have had so many betrayals and so many my heart's been trampled, or I keep hearing betrayal. So even though the outline I have for tonight, we're doing something a little different because angels have it going this way. So that's the way we do it. Okay, so I want you to share. Okay. Here you go. As you notice this card, what is the first thing you see? When you look at this card, where are your eyes drawn to? What is the message that you're receiving? Maybe it's a color. Maybe it's an item. Maybe it's the number. Okay. So Lisa, yes, you will dance to your own joyful tune. I love that. I love that. Thank you. Heather, trying to juggle too much. Red ball being popped. Excellent. If you were focused on that, then it's a matter of, okay, what can I delegate? Where can I release some things so that I'm not overwhelmed, so that bubble doesn't pop? I love how you're noticing these different elements to the card, because then you're able to give yourself a reading and ask yourself those next steps, those next questions, so that you can say, okay, this is what I need to change. This is part of the answer that angels are guiding me. Janice saw the monkey trying to pop the man's bravado in good times. Right. Sometimes, when someone is invading in your boundary, they do try to pop your bubble, don't they? Absolutely. Love that. I love that you're picking that up. Yeah, trying to control chaos. How often do we do that? You know what? If you're a goddess of order and a goddess of action, you absolutely are stepping in, probably taking on other people's issues and trying to control it, trying to help them out, and not your monkey, not your circus. Isn't it interesting how you can come up with a phrase like that as well? Yeah, don't let others burst your bubble. That monkey looks sneaky. Yep. Sometimes you're invaded. Your space is invaded. That boundary is trampled over. You see the light. I love it. Yep. Look at all of those candles. They're all right there. That looks like a lot of success coming his way. That looks like an awful lot of success. I love it. The white sparkles. And then you saw the money. I love how you see the monkey orchestrating it. I love how you see him as a conductor instead of burst in the bubble. That's why it's important when you're looking at the card, you trust that guidance that you see. You can see how each of us are seeing a little different of what's on the card. That's because your intuition is providing the guidance that's invaluable. Look at how amazing that is. And what a great, beautiful way. You know what I see? All the yellow behind. I see how he has his personal power. Who is he? Is he keeping his personal power or is he giving it away? I love it. The monkey at the bottom, like he's forcing you to take on so much so that you feel juggling heavily. I love that. I love, 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 love that. Yep. Yep. That's absolutely true. Yeah. What I love about the trumpet, one thing to know about the trumpet is connected with Archangel Gabriel. You're going to hear, so seeing the trumpet, seeing that you are connecting with that archangel realm. How wonderful. How wonderful. Yeah. Yep. Yes. And when you're looking at this, what can you do to lighten your load? You know, if you see, do you see that little bubble that he's even balancing on his little toe on that guy's back leg? Here's the other thing. He suddenly has 3 legs. Does that mean there's someone behind him? If you look at, there are 4 arms. What else is going on in the card? Optimism despite all the circumstances. I love that. I love it. The guy looks so self-absorbed that but he has to look out for everything. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sometimes you have to see what's there. Yes, we put our head down, but sometimes we have to look up and realize, wait a minute, time has passed so much and I'm maybe out of balance. Yeah. Oh, no worries. No worries. Here you go. We're looking at this card. What do you see? What draws your attention? What do you notice? One thing I had noticed is the number 7. And the reason why that number was drawing my attention is because I felt like it was saying it's the end of the chaos. It's the end of the cycle. It's the end. You're ready to begin new. You're ready to begin fresh. You're ready to begin something else. When you are looking for a message, looking for a sign, it's wonderful to jot down the card you pulled, draw anything. If you can draw, I know we've got some amazing, talented artists. I can't draw, so I would probably document more of what drew my attention. But it's important that you write down anything you can so that you can reference it. Write down the interpretation that you felt, because when you start going back over these card messages, you're going to see where, wow, that was really insightful. That was really helpful. I really see why angels gave me that card. I get that. That was really neat. That was wonderful. I needed that. Angels to the rescue. When you have, I have an ice that got out. Hang on. When you have a deck that you work with regularly, I do have a deck that it's just for angels and myself. No one else touches it. The rest of my decks, anybody can touch. Anyone is welcome. And I wouldn't mind if you touched it. It's one of those that I really don't bring out because I have so many others that we can play with. But when you have that one deck that's just for you and just for your angel divine communication, you know there is something very special and very magical. It's like that special china, that special lotion that you use, special perfume only on the certain days. So that's why it's wonderful to have that particular deck. Okay. So, hi, Annie. So many arms and legs. Yep. Very fast movement. You're right. I love that. I love that. Instead of thinking that there's a lot of other people, it's like, no, no, there aren't a lot of people. It's, I'm just going so fast. I'm quick. I'm juggling so much, but I'm accomplishing a lot and I'm getting it done fast. Okay. Let me shuffle some more. Let's see. What time is it? 8:44. Okay. Let's do one more card. I do want you to do your homework, which is considering your boundaries. I want you writing them out. The one thing that will work, if you write out your boundaries, where you want your boundaries, I want you to then figure out some statements you can say to make sure if it happens, you have that come back. Yes, you can ask angels, but if you are unprepared, we get in this like, I'm not sure what I should have done. I'm not sure what I should have said. I don't know. So it's important that we know what we're going to say. If someone's going to, try to rain on our parade, you're allowed to say, don't do that. You're allowed to say, that's not nice. You're allowed to speak up for your soul. I did tell that guy on Monday, I said, that was not nice of you. That was very disrespectful. I'm very disappointed in you. If I had your wife's number, I would call her and I would tattle, and I'm sure she would not be happy with you. I said some strong things like that. And for me, that was really strong. I did say a lot. I'm very, very disappointed. I think I said that was rude too. I think I said that was rude and inconsiderate. And I do believe I did tell him, and you have ruined my date with my daughter. I'm pretty positive I said that too. And you know what? I'm glad, because I don't have regrets. I don't have that. I wish I had said, I wish I had done this, because then I felt comfortable and very proud of myself for saying it. And I was able to smudge immediately afterwards. So I want you to know, what are you comfortable saying? Because again, I don't want you crossing your boundary. I didn't cuss him out. I didn't say, anything mean. It was all very G rated. So when someone invades your boundary, oversteps your boundary, is inconsiderate and rude, instead of taking it, what can you say? Instead of, like, hey, please don't talk to me that way. Hey, that's not acceptable. I'm not comfortable with that. I cannot hear you unless you're going to speak kindly. Know what you want to say so that when it happens, because we know it's going to, because we all know you're a shining light. We know that you are going to attract people that want to bring you down, because it's just going to happen. So it'll happen less and less and less, though. It will happen less and less and less. But when you're driving all of a sudden and people are cutting you off or trying to give you a mean message, or you're overhearing a mean message, it's important that you know what you want to say. Hang on, this card fell out. So angels chose this card, which is, ooh, can't wait to see what you say about this card. As you're looking at this card, what do you notice? It's a very interesting card, isn't it? I think there's a cat hair on it. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, another one. The cat hair is staying. Here you go. There you go. Okay. You're literally working on boundaries. Wonderful. Yeah. It is very, thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know it's not easy to share. It's actually, it's hard. We're all going through it. We are all going through it. And it's a never ending process, really. And it feels like there's always something more we can do about establishing the boundaries. Earlier, what I had been saying, I'm going to move around just a little bit here. So hang on, I'm sorry. But earlier, what I had been saying is that I want you to figure out the boundaries that you want to set spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. So it's not just these are the boundaries that I have created that I don't want people to cross, but also the boundaries within, meaning self respect. If you're having self talk that doesn't lift you up, if you're busy beating yourself over a mistake you made, well, that's crossing a boundary because you wouldn't want someone else talking that way about themselves, right? So it's also establishing the boundaries within your own mindset, within your own frame of mind, within your own what you're willing to accept from yourself. Are you treating yourself with kindness? Are you overdoing it? Like just like that other card, had you drawn that other card, I would say, baby, you're burning the candle at both ends. Where are you permitting yourself a pass or to relax or to have that downtime without beating yourself up, without feeling like, oh, you should be doing this. Oh, you should be, yeah, no, 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 no. So we want to, excuse me, it's really important to have the time celebrating you, celebrating your boundaries, because when you do that, you are telling the universe, these are the lines that I respect myself, I have created. And it's not acceptable to be treated less than that. This is it. This is the non-negotiable. And the more you start really working within those boundaries and honoring your boundaries, the more, yes, the universe will test you like, do you really mean it? But then you're like, yeah, I really do. And you really awaken back into your strength. You reconnect with that strength. So thank you for sharing that, by the way. Thank you. Okay, I love this. I love watching over your back. Nice. Watching over your back. Good things come to those who wait. Okay. Heather, you see the feathers. I love the feathers. And you see the green, the face, and the yellow. So if you were seeing this card, what would that mean to you as you have seen the yellow and the green in the face? So, I love the feathers. The feathers are actually peacock feathers, and I don't know if that's coming through very well, but the peacock feathers actually have teeny tiny crystals in them. So when they shake them, it's vibration that other peacocks can hear. And so that way they can tell how far away you are from each other. And so I feel like that yellow and green would be, are you healing, stepping into your power? Are you celebrating your gifts? Are you stepping into sharing your talents? Or are you feeling perhaps that you need to keep it hidden? Um, oh, I totally get that. Have a wonderful night. I get the cat being weird. Caution attracts treasures. Interesting. Interesting. Love it. I love it. Watching your prize, not allow distraction. Future is happy. Letting the old stay behind. I love this. Yep. Yep. The lady's protecting herself. Yep. And keeping herself. Yep. Oh, that's a very good way. Yes. Look at the jewels and the light right there. Look at her going that way. Oh, I love it. I love the number 4. Yeah, the number 4, the angel. Yes, the purple bricked fence. I always saw it as a purple bricked fence too. Now that I look at it, it might be a jacket, but I didn't think so. I don't think so. I think that is I'm with you. I think it looks like that. And I agree. I feel like I love that. I love how you see that purple fence too. And the purple represents that oh, my battery's getting low. That spiritual divine. Okay, low battery. Ooh, sorry. Okay, yes. Okay, we're gonna have to wrap it up. I don't know why I didn't bring my charger. Okay, so the number 4. Yes, the number 4, working with angels. Yes, she is looking suspiciously. She is, and she's like hoarding. So is she hoarding her gifts? Is she hoarding the jewels? Is she feeling worthy? Does she feel like if I share this, I might lose something? I love this one. I love this, Annie. Have boundaries, but keep your heart open. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Hidden in plain sight. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love the hidden in plain sight. And you know what's so neat when you're looking at this card, if you had this deck and you were writing all of these attributes that other people were coming up with this card, then you're also coming up with those attributes. Then next time you get it, you're going to feel like, okay, angels, are you saying, am I doing this or am I doing this? So, yeah. Yes, the beautiful older woman who has a hard exterior around her. Yep. Soft green feathers at the top. Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's holding on to a ton of bling. And what if that bling is within her? What if she is failing to recognize she's the sparkly element? Or what if she has established a healthy boundary that she knows she's the treasure and she's holding on and protecting her boundary? It's interesting when you look at the card because there are so many different ways that you can look at this. And I feel like she is old and wise and she knows better. And she's like, you know what? You're not going to fool me. I know this. I know what I'm giving out. I know what I have here, and I'm not letting you take it away. I love that. I hope you take this card as a sign of you're not hoarding your gifts when you set defined boundaries. You are respecting your gifts. You're respecting your time. You're respecting your talents. You're respecting that divine creation of who you are. You are so magical. And if you are depleting yourself by having boundaries that are trampled on and disrespected, if you're not honoring your own soul, then the universe is reflecting that, saying, why should we? And so please take this as a sign that you are the treasure, that you are able to hold on tightly to your gifts, and you get to choose who you share your light with. You get to choose who is welcome into your inner circle. You get to choose how those words, those people that try to sling things at you, how do those words impact you? I'll tell you, even though I told that guy I was disappointed in him, didn't matter. It didn't change. He was very happy with himself. He did not feel badly. He did not feel guilty. So those words he didn't take. He didn't own them. It didn't matter. It made me feel better. And it did not change his attitude or his day at all. And see, that's the thing. You can have a win-win by respecting your own boundaries. You can have a win-win by shining your light and not allowing anyone else to dull it with the crud that they try, the mud, the dirt they try to fling your way because you're shining so brightly. Please continue to honor and recognize that you are made from the divine, the creator of all. You are made from the divine. Out of stardust, you are truly designed to shine. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your light with me. I know you could be anywhere else, and you chose to share this time with me. So thank you. I can't wait to see you next Wednesday. We are going to talk more on angels, boundaries, crystals, boundaries. We're going to get this going because you know what? This is the time. Because with this thinning veil, I was going to say veiling thin. But with this thin veil, we are going to make sure that we have to set those established boundaries because you're going to have others coming at you, not just real, but spirits. And you are in control and you can say, no, this is a safe zone. You are not welcome. And you know what? Negative energy, be it in spirit form or human form, negative has got to go. This is a good vibe only zone. Keep it that way. I love you guys. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.